Hey guys, Gianluca Nesci from theScore here. We're going to be taking a deep dive into the 2019 Premier League season today. And as you can see, based on our surroundings, we're going to put a little NBA spin on things. And who better to do just that than NBA legend, soccer fanatic, and world soccer analyst, Steve Nash. All right guys, we're here with NBA legend Steve Nash. Steve, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
We're going to play a little shot for shot here first,
All right.
and then we're going to preview the Premier League season, some of the big storylines. It's going to be a lot of fun this year, and big clubs, top six, and even a couple of the battles going on beneath that. A lot to talk about this year, so let's get started. Why don't you take the first shot, and let's see if I can match here.
Oh, it's long. Oh, I got a little
Got
backboard.
There you go. Ooh. All right, before we get into the Premier League season, we've got to talk about the transfer window.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it, silly season. Manchester United, one of the big ongoing storylines. This Paul Pogba, will he, won't he, kind of hanging over the club this year. What do you make of the Pogba situation? And are there any comparisons to sort of, the wild summer we just saw in the NBA with the Kawhi sweepstakes and all the big names moving around?
Well, I think in both sports, they're the two biggest sports globally, and I think player power is definitely come to be. And so it's a natural evolution of the players understanding that they do have a huge piece in this machine, and at some point maybe it'll come back down or it'll be a cycle, but right now we're showing in the NBA and in international soccer, teams are watching their players decide one day I want to leave, and they can't really do a lot about it unless they want a disgruntled star sitting on their bench like Gareth Bale. So it's tricky, and I think the Pogba situation is tough for United. I think at the end of the day, the club has to decide, can we bring this player back on side? As a Tottenham fan, last summer it was Toby Alderweireld. I thought he was going to go. He wanted to go, is what the papers were saying. In the end, he didn't go, and they were able to bring him back on side to where it looks like he may end up being at Tottenham for the remainder of his career or a good chunk of it. So it's a matter of, can you bring that person, his personality, can they be absorbed by the culture, can they become central again? And if that's the case, you want to try to hang on to people like Paul Pogba. If you think his head's gone and he has no interest at all in being a part of it, then at some point you have to cut your losses.
Manchester City, Liverpool, really the class of the field. I think once again we got a little taste of it in the Community Shield. You think we're seeing potentially like a Warriors-Cavs situation where these two heavyweights just go toe-to-toe and build this sort of real dynastic rivalry?
It looks that way right now. I mean, they have everything in their favor. They both have great managers, great playing staffs, lots of investment. Things are going up and up and up to where they have this momentum, not only the culture of their team, they're attracting top players, they're recruiting top players, but they're also able to springboard and take the next step continually. So, can Spurs jump in there? Can Chelsea get back there? Arsenal seems like they're a little bit out of it, but they're not that far away, I think, from getting back to where they were, and you could say the same for Man United. I mean, if they get it right with 2 or 3 more signings in the next 2 windows, they could elevate themselves and be right back in a position where they're clawing, right as maybe some of these players or the staleness is creeping in at City or Liverpool. But they definitely right now are the teams that are the deepest, the most talented, have the most momentum and continuity.
Of the two managers, Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola, as a player, former player yourself, who would you prefer to play for?
Maurizio Pochettino, but that's just me. No, but look, I mean, all these managers, Klopp and Guardiola, brilliant managers, incredible. I've always said I think that to be a great coach, you have to have some charisma where the players can respect you and at times, be your friend, and at the same time they know where the line is when it's time for you to be an authoritarian, and the top managers are able to be honest. If you skirt the issue or hide the truth from a player, he notices it, and then he loses respect for you, and then it becomes cancerous. These top managers, Klopp, Guardiola, they're honest, they're direct, they have high standards, they keep you on side and motivated all the time. That's so hard to do. We're talking about players that are making so much money nowadays that if you don't get that right, you can lose them, or the team can fray and the dressing room fray. And the culture at those two clubs is off the charts right now. And think about how hard that would be to manage. All those personalities, guys fighting for time, fighting for their position, fighting for the next contract, and you're still able to bring it all together. So maximum respect for Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola.
For sure. Want to give another shot here?
Let's have it. There it is. Yes! Oh.
All right, let's go home.
See ya. That's it. I mean, I don't know if I can top that.
All right, let's jump into Spurs. Obviously, diehard Spurs fan. Before we actually get into their season and sort of their expectations and what you expect from them, what are the roots of your Spurs fandom?
My dad's from Tottenham. My dad's side of the family, all Spurs supporters, were there for generations. Now everyone's kind of moved, but I still have a lot of family that's not far from Tottenham. So it's been something I was born into, and I share with my dad, my cousins, my brother, sister. So it's something that's really important, and it's like a bit of a fabric of our family, and it means a lot to us.
And I understand, you had the chance when you were younger. You said you haven't started playing basketball until you were about 12, 13.
Yeah.
You had the choice to actually go to London, potentially pursue being a pro in the Tottenham system, and obviously you decided to stay home and play basketball. Worked out okay.
Yeah, I got lucky.
But what went into that decision at the time?
Well, really, it was just my dad recognized that I was doing well at soccer, and he wanted to know if there was an opportunity that I'd like to take, go stay with my aunt or my grandfather and go on trial at Spurs and see what level I'm at. I wasn't ready at that age to leave my family. I also was having so much fun playing soccer, playing hockey, just starting to play basketball with friends. So it was like an important age where I wasn't mature enough to go away, and I also was having a lot of fun doing the sports I was doing. So who knows? Who knows what that trip would have been like and what it would have meant. But I'm pretty fortunate to be in the position I'm in now.
And now Spurs.
Yes.
What are you expecting this season? I mean, big push, title push last year. Didn't quite get there at the end. Obviously, the deep Champions League run. We all saw that great video of you, the reaction to the goal against Ajax. But made a big signing, Tanguy Ndombele in the offseason, splashed some cash finally. Is this the year? Is this the year they make a big run to the title?
Unless they can make another signing or two in the window, I don't know that they're true challengers this year. I'd love to see them. What we have going for them is some extremely talented players, an incredible manager. Brought in Ndombele, who's a fantastic player. There are a few holes. We lost Trippier at right back. Danny Rose is a question mark at left back. I think that another major difference between Liverpool and City and us is depth. They're full everywhere around the park, 2 and 3 bodies. So I'm not sure they're quite on that level when you look at the spending and the budgets and all those things. But man, if anyone can make a title challenge with less, it's Pochettino and some of those guys that have been there and had the continuity and the culture and the experience to scrap out a Champions League final with a team that started the year. I was worried that they might not make the Champions League the final season, let alone advance to the final. So they've been remarkable. I wouldn't bet against them. At the same time, the resources at City and Liverpool and the momentum they've created are outstanding. Yeah, continuity I think is the key word there, right? A lot of people rag on them for not making the big signings, but that stuff helps make a big difference for sure. Right? Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's give it another crack here. Oh God, how many shots do I need here? Should I go to the left foot?
Hey. There we go.
At least I'm not going home empty-handed, Might have lost, but I'm still in the ball.
No, we got it. All right, we talked Spurs. We got to talk the North London rivals.
Yes.
Arsenal. Interesting summer for them.
Can we say that? Can we say
you
that
can say it.
Score?
I'm not going to. You can say it. Some interesting signings up front when it seemed like all the issues are at the back for them, right? So it looks like it's going to be a team that's super fun to watch for a neutral like myself. Is there an NBA equivalent there, like a team that maybe some question marks, but win or lose?
If I didn't hate them so much, I'd say like the old Phoenix Suns. But
7 seconds or less, right?
Yeah, exactly.
High up tempo. What do you expect out of Arsenal this year?
Well, I think they're still in transition. I think offensively, they were very good last year, and they're going to be outstanding this year offensively. Defensively, there's a lot of questions. I do think that they have a very good manager. It's going to take him some time to really put his print on that team and that club, but they're getting better. I think I heard a great take the other day. Someone thought defenders are going for crazy numbers right now. So instead of splashing out and spending 50, 60, 70 million on a defender, why not continue this transition process, pick up an offensive player as they did in Pepe, and continue to build, and perhaps they'll develop or acquire a young defender, as I think they recently did acquire a young French defender, that can develop into that player. Save yourself, 50 to 100 million pounds and continue with what your project is and building. And I know that's not necessarily what Arsenal fans want to hear. They probably want to, let's spend the money, let's put together, a top back line. But, that is incredible resources to put into it. I think the manager's good, the offense is good, and I think eventually they'll be sound defensively because he is a good manager.
Mm-hmm. Try and break this tie here?
Let's do it. Come on, you go first.
I go first? All right.
Wow, he went for the Nowitzki high arcer.
There you go.
That's 2-1? 2-1? Okay,
Okay,
I'm out.
One more
I'm
crack
out.
at it.
Go,
One
come
more
on.
crack at it. Let's see.
Get in.
Oh, not
Lucky.
close.
We got a little sweat.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for
Guys,
having me.
For more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget, download the theScore app, iPhone, Android. We'll talk to you next time.